Hello, I'm Bunnery.
I'm Bread Mower.
And this is IFXtra. So, how is everyone today? Hope you're all well. You've had a good week. We've had a kind of challenging week. We had a little bit of a problem with the quiz. We've had to do some updates, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, we sort of got, we've got a load of stuff mapped out, sort of. I should probably put it on the whiteboard at some point.
Yeah.
But the order in which we're going to do things based on how much resource we have for stuff. And yeah, we just had to do loads of stuff out of sequence, which is kind of like slightly frustrating. So yeah, I was meant to be spending the week doing interference app stuff.
Especially now you've got an iPhone to try it on.
Well, I'll come back to that in a moment.
Okay.
But yeah, we ended up doing some quiz updates for various things. But one positive thing that came out of that is I have improved the sort of the reconnect kind of bit. Like if there's a little network blip, previously we'd have to get people to refresh their phone.
Yeah.
But we don't now.
Join the game.
I mean, I say that either it worked really well on the last one,
so we didn't notice,
or it just didn't get triggered. Yeah. So I wonder if next time I need to deliberately cause a problem and see if it works.
That's not a good idea.
Maybe that's a Thursday thing rather than a Sunday thing.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, got some odds and ends done with that. So you know that was something at least. But yeah, but we're behind on interference now because of that. But yes, as you say, last week we were talking about managing to buy a broken iPhone on eBay because you know we get excited about such things. We don't have a budget for buying actual iPhones.
No way.
But we bought an iPhone with a broken microphone for 50 quid. Woo! Yeah, it arrived. Well, I say it arrived. Who knows when it arrived because you just happened to. Did you? I forget. Did you have to go to the chemist or something? I forget. Came back. It was just this phone just sat on the doorstep. It was signed for, recorded delivery and all this, and the guy's just like YOLO. Didn't like put a card through, didn't ring the bell, anything like that. So fortunately, it wasn't raining.
Or stolen.
But yes, so we have a broken iPhone. We plugged it in, deployed the app to it after building a theoretical iPhone app with no real way to test it, and it actually kind of worked first time, pretty much.
That was a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah. Going all cross-platform and that. So we're building this Android app which should run on iPhones as well. And yeah, so it kind of works. There's some stuff to deal with.
Absolutely.
Like I forgot iPhones don't have a back button. You have to like actually put a back button into your app. So some stuff like that.
But not too much anyway.
They're really small as well, so some of my layout doesn't work. I need to kind of squish things up a bit. But nothing insurmountable at the moment, at least.
That's cool.
Notifications even started working on it straight away. Like I was so just kind of really surprised. All this stuff just worked.
So that's good news then, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, we haven't got a phenomenal amount of stuff done on the interference app this week, although I've submitted a test IRL item, which was a picture of a Sunday roast, so I then removed it. But yeah, I will shortly, hopefully, be doing the first IRL game from Android and iPhone.
Wow. Guess what I've been doing this week?
IRL game.
Yeah. I thought, they're not moving along very quickly. I'm going to paint something. So I did 3 paintings.
I know.
It
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, we have one of them on the wall here. It's very cool.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. I won't say what it is. You'll have to wait for the game to finish. But yeah, so we've done a little bit of app stuff.
Yeah.
Back onto that next week.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, foolishly, last week I said I would hope to have a testing version of this distributed to people by the end of the month.
Still not the end of the month, though.
Yeah, we're kind of halfway through the month.
Well, that's nothing.
We'll see.
You can do it.
Just have to hope nothing else goes wrong, really.
Yeah, true.
I did caveat it with, assuming nothing goes wrong, something went wrong. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. So yeah, Android app is coming, iPhone app seemingly coming. So we'll be looking for volunteers to test that at some point.
Yeah.
In the next couple of weeks, hopefully. Anyway,
awesome.
I stopped waffling.
Okay, now it's time to see who won this week's awards. Picture of the week this week goes to Washiro for 12 hens, 2 dogs, 4 fish and 2 parakeets.
because that's exactly what they've drawn, and each one's different and individual. I love this picture. Well done, Washiro.
My favourite description this week was, "Tamagotchi, is it you?" by IFXtra. This is another great example of once you see it, you can't unsee it. It was originally, how did that square fit in that circle hole? But now that Tamagotchi has been mentioned, it clearly is a Tamagotchi. Nice work, IFXtra.
Community pick of the week this week goes to Heraclium for a really old computer, like really old. It's even in black and white, it's that old. But that is a brilliant drawing. I love the screen. Looks amazing. So realistic. Well done, Heraclium.
They were amazing.
Awesome stuff there, as always.
Now we're going to have a look at what we were talking about last week in the forums. So last week I was saying about school curriculums. I said school is great and all, and they teach you how to work out algebraic equations and chemical formulae, but is there anything you wish they taught you that they just don't? I would like to know how to get a pill down a cat, how to scrape 4 layers of wallpaper off a wall without pulling off the plaster, and how to find the best motor insurance. How about you?
I think, yeah, you make quite an interesting point here, because school doesn't...
useful things.
It doesn't really teach you life skills.
No,
I mean, the thing about, like, you know, how to find the best motor insurance, even if it wasn't that, if they just taught you, right, at some point, you're going to have a car, house, something that requires insurance.
Yeah.
Don't take the renewal. You know,
yeah, exactly.
If schools said that,
yeah,
people would save loads of money. Don't take the renewal. You should always look for a better deal when it's up for renewal.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I you know, I'm in a tech field, so like some of the stuff I learned in maths and things, you know, does actually come in useful.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there was always a lot of like, but sir, when are we ever going to use this? And you know, they'd be like, well, you need to know area when you're working out how much carpet to buy, which is true.
Yeah, that's
but,
true.
Yeah, you know, in app dev and stuff, I do actually use maths a bit, so it is kind of useful. But yeah, there's loads of things.
I know. Callum said some good techniques for drawing art in under 10 minutes. Good point.
I mean, hey, I did art at school, compulsory art, for however long I had to do compulsory art, and the only thing they taught us was to hate art, and it took a long time to get over that. Yeah.
Amber said, I wish we learned more about finances and taxes. I literally have no clue how to file taxes, and I think they're due in like a month. I also wish our history classes taught us more about different cultures in Canada rather than solely conflicts that took place in it. Yeah, you always learn about wars in history, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually learn about interesting stuff. And normal people.
I mean, again, the good points here. Yeah, I was never taught about taxes. I had to figure all that out myself. But yeah, history classes. I mean, I dropped history. I dropped history before GCSE. How does that translate to other people? Like, I dropped history when I was 14, 15, something like that. Because... I mean, looking back now, history is actually really interesting, but the teachers that I had doing it didn't engage me. So, like, you know, it like you say, it's all
boring.
wars,
this war, that war, somebody's ear, the War of Jenkins' ear. I remember that. Why would you have a war about an ear? I don't know.
I've literally never heard of this.
No, there is a War of Jenkins' ear, definitely.
Well. Error404 says, I have like a zillion years of formal education, and I maintain to this day the most useful class I ever took in my life was typing in 8th or 9th grade. Yes, on actual typewriters too, not computer keyboards. Transferable skills.
Exactly, that's what everyone needs now.
Although by the time I was a high school senior, we had a computer class learning basic and Fortran programming. On punch cards. Wow. Nice.
That is cool.
I feel like pretty much everyone is going to be too young to remember that, but we're impressed. As for what else I wish we had, I don't know, like they say, hindsight is 2020. There were classes available then, I would now say, I wish I'd taken back in the day. But as for anything that was totally lacking, maybe just personal finance class.
Yeah,
exactly.
You could easily incorporate it into maths, couldn't you? I'm sure. And it would be so useful.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we did in maths to do with, that could even be vaguely counted as personal finance was we learned how compound interest works. And the example was always like, okay, so you have this money and you put it in a bank account that earns 12%. That's not relevant anymore.
No.
You put it in a bank account that earns 0%. Yes.
Nothing happens
That
to it.
is more like it.
Yeah.
Just with Error 404 saying about computer classes and things. So, I mean, it's interesting though, even if you did something that seems useful at the time, later, is it really useful?
Things move on so quickly, don't they?
I've got a degree in computer science. I studied computer science at uni for 3 years, and I learned all of this like really, serious, like hardcore computing stuff. And then I was like a network manager at a college, a further education college, so like 16-year-olds, that kind of stuff, for a few years. And I walked into a class to speak to one about something once, and they were teaching like 15-year-olds the stuff I did for my degree. And they're all like, yeah, we already know this, it's obvious.
I know. Just things just move on so quickly.
Because like all of this stuff that was cutting edge when I did it, like, kids do it now. And it's like, wow.
I know.
But, I did learn where there were some nice bars in Liverpool, though.
Well, that's always useful to know.
That's something.
If we ever go back.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah. It's time to see now what we're going to be talking about next week in the forums.
What was the last video you watched online? I'm rather obsessed with watching people get haircuts, probably because it's so long since I had one. The last video we watched here, though, was a music from the memes 1680 to 2020, which include a lot of favourites like Keyboard Cat, Gangnam Style, and What Does the Fox Say? How about you?
If you'd like to chime in with that, just head over to the general discussion forum. It's the pinned thread for the week, so you'll find it at the top of the thread list.
Cool. Now, don't forget, tomorrow night is Zeitgeist Quiz Night. 5 rounds with 5 different topics.
Yeah, if you've not seen this before, every Sunday night at 7 PM UK time over on twitch.tv/interference, we run Zeitgeist, the interference quiz of the week. It's a live interactive quiz stream where you can play along against the rest of the audience, competing for points and places on the leaderboard. The way it works is we have 5 rounds, 5 questions each. Each round's based on one of the week's drawings from interference. Bunnery picks 5 of her favourite drawings and then comes up with some rounds based upon them. So, we had a drawing of a seagull once, and then we had a round on seabirds.
We did.
So it's all a surprise. No one sees this ahead of time, not even me. I just show up, see what happens. But you can sort of tease us a bit with the names of the featured artists there.
Yeah, this week the artists are Sneaky, P-Chops, Juff, Licked Beetle, and Mary Cricket.
Okay, nice.
Some cool stuff in.
So, something they've drawn over the last week. We'll have to see what that is. But yeah, talking about scores and leaderboards and things. So, who did the best last week then?
Well, last Sunday, Darth won with 238 points. Izzy the Penguin, a new player, was second with 214, and then Goose was just behind with 211. So it's nice to see a new player doing well.
It is, yes. Especially when it's their first time, and then they just kind of rock up and storm in. We like to see it.
I know.
Also we do Zeitgeist 20 on Thursdays, which is kind of the same, but it's one topic and 20 questions, and we tell you what it's going to be in advance.
We do.
So last week we were doing missing words, weren't we?
Yeah, missing words from titles of books and lyrics and all that kind of thing. And guess who won that one?
Go on.
Izzy the Penguin, the new player.
Nice.
Won with 211. So wow, that's a lot of faster scores, isn't it? To get those extra bonus points, yeah. And then Darth was second with 202, and Blue Jay Tempest was next with 200.
I see.
So that was quite cool.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
We do that every Thursday. That's on twitch.tv/interference at 7 PM UK time, if you'd like to join us. And on Thursday, we're going to be doing
world currencies.
Oh, okay. I probably knew more about that before the Euro happened, but a lot of my knowledge is probably outdated now.
Well, we'll see how you get on.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
So, tune in on Thursday for that one. But I think that's all the news for now, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, just goes to say.
Yeah, if you're not already taking part in the game, then get involved. You can either play on the web at playinterference.com or download the app from your app store. Just search for Interference. You can also get social with us. We're on Twitter at PlayIFX, on Facebook at PlayInterference, and we're on Patreon at patreon.com/interference. If you want to give us a bit of monthly support for the ongoing maintenance of the game, building these new apps, running the quiz, feeding cats, and, you know, doing all kinds of other random bits and pieces for you. We really appreciate your support. You get support status in Interference, so you get access to replays and things like that. And if you're a quiz player, you get a custom entrance shout out from Ava as well.
Which is very cool. Okay, that's it for now. So we'll see you again next Saturday.
Yep, have a great week. We'll see you next Saturday. Bye.